So what is the problem with freedom for everyone, every single person on the planet, every person having the same equal rights, everybody having the same freedom? What would be the problem with that reality? Well, obviously we're encountering these problems all the time. Every waking moment, every time we go to sleep, every time we wake up, we're facing these problems that prevent people from having freedom. But what are they? I mean, it's quite simple when you stop to think. People have already been here before we were born. The land, the food, the water, all the things that people need to be alive already belong to someone else. You can't go out and say, I'll have this piece of land, I'll grow some crops and I'll live my life. People need freedom to have their own space, their own reality. And well, virtual reality is as many terabytes as you can create. You can create as many realities as you want. It's like there's enough space, there's enough land, there's enough resources within virtual reality to give everyone their own universe, their own galaxy, their own whatever size of land territory you want. The problem is the people themselves being able to learn to get on with each other and share and make friends and live peaceful lives. Killing people is the problem. Yeah, well, killing people, that's the problem, isn't it? People who kill people are not nice people. Everyone should have the right to live and to be alive. Okay, we need restrictions. The world is the way that it needs to be to help people to do the things they need to do, but the freedom that's needed, there's ways to make it possible. And the future is going to, hopefully, and I thoroughly believe that it will, bring to everyone the freedom that is actually needed. Okay, say a paraplegic, he's not got the freedom to even get up and walk around. Virtual reality, once the headsets progress, maybe 20 years now when they've got human brain interface, I mean, dreams do already exist. We already can dream and live in virtual worlds. Imagine being able to give a paraplegic not just a robot, but a virtual world he can live in, and his virtual world, his virtual self living within that virtual dream, can make that robot walk around in the real world, and he's got the freedom to be a real person walking around in the real world, feel as real as anybody else, walk around as free as anybody else. Yeah, there he is, just lying in his bed or whatever he has to do, and he's got that freedom too. But imagine giving everybody that freedom. Everybody just has to lie around doing nothing, and everybody can still walk around in the real world, still engage in the real world. Okay, so the rich have already got all the nice places, all the nice locations have already been bought and purchased, and you want to go there, you're going to have to pay to go there. But copy and paste. Copy and paste. When Google Earth has made almost the entire planet into a little virtual game that you can go and look on Google Earth, and you can travel anywhere in the world and see anywhere in the world. Once the entire planet has been mapped, the entire planet is available for anybody to go anywhere, do anything, and within that dream virtual reality, the restrictions that are necessary, I suppose, at the moment, because there's only so many resources and people have already taken those resources up, but to make more resources available on the same scale for everyone that's available to the super rich, this would make it possible. Do the super rich really want to kill people? Probably not. They'll probably go home to their families and feel bad about any kills to people that they've killed or deaths that they've caused. But if there was a way that they could allow other people to just live in peace, surely, well, if there are people that really want to be greedy and hurt other people, then they need to recognise the truth. For example, I mean, say we're to have a war in a world like that, instead of going to war with a person going to war, you send your robot to war. And instead of dying at the end of that, it's like a game. Your robot dies, and the person who kills your robot then becomes responsible for destroying your robot. Their robot then would have to become responsible, not for murder, but debt. They'd have to pay to make your robot back to what it was again. Repair your robot and bring it back. And their robot could have to do the work to rebuild your robot as a punishment. kind of would prevent people from wanting to do that in the first place, I suppose, because they want their robot to do other things. But, you know, I believe that the world already works that way through religious ideas. I think that the higher reality, we all are one. I mean, we all are God, because God is just life. Life is what created the universe. It's just simply consciousness creates the universe. The universe as we know it is just what we have through the five senses. That's what builds our universe. The rules and the laws that we encounter are only things that other people have put there to help guide us on the way travelling through that world, travelling through that universe that already exists. So, you know, it's complicated, I suppose, but it can be done, and it's going to take time, but in a sense it's already been done. I mean, you probably chose to come here when you were God, you were up in heaven, you came down here, well, who am I going to be next? And imagine if everybody actually is God, except it's divided, separated into all the individual pieces. We all have the same rights as God, the same freedoms as God, to be able to do anything. Look what God does. God just says, hey, get on with it, do whatever you want, allows anything to exist, and allows us to make up our own rules to try and make that work. That's good enough for us. It's been working for years. But remember that structure of what God is a collective consciousness of every single person who has consciousness. That's what life is. That's what God is. God is consciousness. So, well, I'll hear a bit of noise in the background, so I'm going to move location. You'll see a miraculous change in a second. I suppose the question is where we're going to get the money to fund all of these robots that are going to need to be built, and all these virtual reality machines that are going to need to be built. If everybody's going to have one, everybody's going to have the same freedom. Technically, it's already been done. We're already doing it now. We just would prefer to see that reality more clearly. I mean, reincarnation's a great idea, much better than having to die and either go to heaven or go to hell, be punished or be rewarded. We're being punished and being rewarded just for being born at the moment. So, wouldn't it be nice? I mean, they have the possibility of extending human life, and the more progress they make with that, there's more possibility that people could actually live forever. So, I don't know if you believe in God, you don't believe in God, it doesn't matter. If God doesn't exist, we can create God. We can make him. All the stuff that people think can hold the highest about what God is or what God should be, we can make that real in the world just by sharing, by being nice to each other. So, I'm getting a bit dizzy doing this. Yeah, so the reality is we just need to get together. The rich people already have all the resources and all the money to make the technology that we need to make the world a better place. And I don't really think that they have a desire to harm or kill anyone, not really, not if there's a better way. And I know, and I'm sure you'll agree that there is a better way. It's just a matter of when we're going to start doing it, yeah? You know? Imagine living in a world where science and technology and the government has like the concept of reincarnation. Yeah, I think I'm getting a bit bored, and the world's been fully populated, there's no babies being born anymore, everyone lives forever. I think it would be nice to have some babies in the world. Well, you're going to have to volunteer to be that baby. You can reincarnate as that baby. You want a complete memory wipe, and you know, we could maybe even like give you like some information, DVDs and stuff, and show you who you were in your previous life, bring you up, teach you that, who you used to be, and be much more open rather than all being secrecy and faith. And you could create a reality where things like that were real simply by the technology that is beginning to exist that's going to make it absolutely possible. So is the future going to be different? Are we looking to a future that's going to be new and fresh and different? I think we are. I think it's coming very soon. Look forward to that. Watch this space.